Welcome, sir. Welcome back. So we left yesterday with few questions. So we'll start it today again. So the gist what we did yesterday was for the viewers that we did yesterday. We came to know about who is Bhagwan Shri Vishwakarma ji and why it is important to revive or recreate all those monuments and that kind of tradition of sthapati. So now we'll move forward with our new questions. So sir, my next question is why we should construct or help in construction of more temples or institution according to our Vedic culture. Means these days temple construction is going on. We all know that people are still constructing temples and monuments, and institutes are also constructed, but I don't think so that they are more according to Vedic culture or shastras, but they are just like uh, sorry, latest architectural studies output more than the that based on shastras or Vedic according to Vedas. I don't think so that anybody is following that. So why that is necessary for constructing a temple or any institution? What is your opinion for that?
Yes, you are asked a very apt question, which is very necessary
Yes.
For today scenario. I have to take this two parts.
Okay.
One is why the Shastra is necessary for constructing the temple. And second one is what is the necessity for it. Nowadays, the people are very much inclined towards spirituality as well as our Purana and Itikasas. So the people are ready to construct the temple. They are very liberal in giving money for such things. Here we are encountered with two issues. The one is not the huge number of people available for constructing the temple according to Shastra. That is one issue. And second one is how far their knowledge to be judged by those who are interested to constructing it. What my experience says that almost all the people, those who are interested in constructing the temple, are always want to follow the Shastric principles. Some places, some people proclaim themselves as just like that of guide. They may say that you have to construct the temple according to whims and fancies of that particular person. If a person giving a huge amount, he may insist the people to do the construction work as per his own idea. That was, it is a very frequent and it is very common. In northern part of India, except Gujarat and Malwa regions, that is, Sompuras are there. But they are also following certain Shilpa text. I already checked with it. Some Jain Munis and monks were consulted me and posed a large number of questions. So the people are ready to construct the temple according to Shastra.
Okay.
So, but they are unable to find the right people. It is all over India, this one is again and again is coming. The people are, for me, just for me, I never allow the people to emphasize their whims and fancies towards me.
Okay.
But in the very first step, I have to ask them whether you are interested to construct a temple or a temple-like structure.
Okay. There's a difference
So
between two.
difference, but if it is a temple, it has to give the all kind of following the all the sastric principles, and it has the more intensity of the spirituality,
Okay.
and it has to give and answer all kind of blessings to them. Instead, we are making the temple-like structure and accommodating all kind of modern amenities, most modern amenities there, and using so many gadgets. So this may divert the people, just like that of amusement, not that a particular temple. So the following the Vedic principle, the Vedic architecture, to be followed in almost all the temples. Nowadays, people are constructing, they have the fancy, there is a fancy mood in the people. So I want to make a huge Lord Shiva or the Vishnu or the Bajrang Bali, very huge structure of 150 feet, 140 feet. It is one of the largest, all these things are going on. But these are all don't have the any sastric uh, based on the sastric principles. Because the sastras are not the guidebook, it is not the description or the prescription for constructing the temple. Instead, it is giving us the very clear instruction towards how to make a particular place as the most sacred one, and it has to invite the deities, and already the deities are there, they must be consecrated. So that is the idea and the principles. That is why your question is more valid regarding the modern day construction activity. So I may request the people, you have to search the people who has the knowledge of the Shastra and ask them to go according to the Shastric principles mentioned in the Shilpa text. So that is the best point. And the second one is general public also must aware of our heritage. What is our heritage? A temple construction heritage, not mere the monuments, visiting and taking photo. This is no way it may help. So they have to go there and meditate, and then they have to receive what is the real, uh, what is the sacred state, how it is interact with them. That is necessary. So my request is the people must come forward to understand the basic principles of architecture, and then they may advise and guide the other people. Also, they have to search for the good persons, knowing divine knowledge of the Shastra.
So my question is that you said that people should look for a person who has a knowledge. So is there any
Yes.
particular place to look for them, or sites, or there are some institutions where we can look for these people? Because most of the people normally, I never constructed or been in contact with such people, those who are in construction, in the business of or doing construction for temples or anything like that. But I want to know how feasible it is, and how will a layman could contact the people, those who are Vedic inclined, or have the knowledge of Vedas and doing the temple construction, where to find such people?
Actually, this is some difficult question for me
Okay.
because I am a hereditary architect. Nowadays, what happen if you go for any institution? The institution based, and we have to judge the people according to judge the people in the angle of their knowledge in the construction of temples. So if you go Google it, there are hundreds of people available. They may say it is a Vedic, we are adopting the Vedic principles, and they have put the very vast list of temples they had constructed so far. But what my request is, those who are interested to construct a temple, at least they must go for some serious study of how the temple to be constructed. What are the principles were adopted by our ancestors. So they have to intensive study of some of the books, best books, so far available, and they have to visit some places also. So then only, according to their knowledge, they have to search for the people and ask them the questions based on your what are the ideas you got it from the books and the lectures, or the whatever the videos are available. You see, everywhere there is a two kind of, one is the so-called experts and novice also. They both are there, but we must examine them, how far the knowledge. For example, if you go over constructing a temple, if you talk to a person, if a person having certain vocabularies, maybe the 15 or 20 vocabularies in the Shilpa text. So the duration of negotiation or the discussion of the temple, it about 2 hours. The preliminary exchange of pleasantries as well as introduction, it takes off of the time. So the core time, that is the prime time, regarding the construction of temple is at least not more than that of 30 to 40 minutes. Within that 30 to 40 minutes, he may drop that technical words.
Okay.
It is just like that of name dropping. We are well aware of the name dropping. Just like that, dropping the technical terms. So we must be careful about it. And we have to analyze what are the principles were adopted and how far he is doing it, how he sincere is. That is very, very important.
So my question is that suppose I want that I want to spend money. I want that I am willing that the temple should be constructed, but I don't have any knowledge about Shilpa Shastra. So what are the 5 characteristics I should look into the Sthapati for constructing the temple, that I got a correct person, a wise person? How can I judge that? Because I am not at all aware of the concept of what is the good Sthapati is all about, and I am getting a correct person to do that noble work. So what are the 5 main points or the characteristics that you suggest that we should look for the person whom we are connecting or means contacting to construct the temple?
Yes, you have to ask some of your friends, those who are familiar with that of the temple construction activity, or the persons having some qualifications, just like that of art historians and professors. We have to approach and ask their help to find out the good persons. And the third thing is you have to ask the person whether he knows the Sanskrit.
Sanskrit.
Yes, Sanskrit is very, very essential, and how far his understanding of the Sanskrit and the Shilpa text, some of the Shilpa text and its core aspects. So just like that of Mayamata and the Manasara and Kashyapa Shilpa Shastra. So you have to ask them in which text you are so familiar with. So these are all the questions to be posed to him. Then only we have to fix him whether it is a good person to do the work. Because nowadays, the people don't have the idea about what is part that of the temple construction, but simply they have the experience. just like the masonry work.
Yes.
So they says that I do not know the Shastra, but I have the lot of experience to construct the temple.
Temples.
So that may not be worked out. So instead of going for uh, instead of going for the person, there are two things also it is coming. I am come across with so many people that some people ask me who is famous,
Okay.
and some people ask who is a scholar. So the people very recently I come across a person telephoned to me. They are going for the very good project, but he insists to me, sir, we need the internationally well-known person
Okay.
to construct the temple. I do not understand whether he is going to construct the temple for a deity or he has to propagate it, advertise it. It is done by so such and such people.
True.
And even he has asked me, um, sir, if you know any of the foreigners, foreign architect for the construction as a consultant. So these are the mindset of the people. So we have to avoid all these things
All these.
and we have to judge the people according to the knowledge. It is not only the Shilpa text, it is so you have to ask the general questions about the our Hinduism and what are the philosophies. Any text you are well versed with that of the epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata and the Purana, even the Purana, you have to ask. Then discussing with him for the half an hour or the 45 minutes, you may easily coming out whether he has any idea about the Shilpa Shastra or the temple construction and Bhavan.
Got it, sir. Thank you so much for this answer, sir. My next question is, why is it important to construct a temple? Okay, I asked that too. Next question, what is your advice for contemporary architects? Means these days, the new architects, the civil engineers, artisans, the interior designers, painters, they all are the part of Vishwakarma family only. They are constructing something new. So what is your advice for them, the new budding engineers and the artisans, the contemporary one, how they can improvise themselves towards the Vedic culture and create that epitome of construction or temples that we had in our heritage, as our heritage? Means these are rare now. Everybody is doing, means it's just a copy aping of one monument to the next. Why new thing is not coming according to Vedic culture? What is your advice to them?
So regarding the Vedic architecture or the traditional architecture, the modern there is a vast difference between the modern architects and the traditional architecture. The modern architects are fully motivated and they are all studying the Western concepts of architecture. They are not following the Indian methods or the, so they have this one semester, one paper regarding the history of Indian architecture. Yeah, what is the main core point is the history of American architecture is only 200 years old. So just like that Gothic, the Renaissance period, there are a lot of cathedrals in the East European countries that are constructed. They are following some principles. So what is the modern architects? They are generally following the modern architectural theories. The theories are conceptually, it is based upon the Renaissance as well as Gothic and the modern visual concepts of Gestalt theory. So Gestalt principles is a prime motive factor for the modern architects. So they have the great names maybe Le Corbusier or the ancient architects, some Vitruvius. So these are all following Ruskin. So these are all some of the names. But I am also studying the Western architects in a very in-depth study of what is the aesthetics of Europe. So from the European aesthetics, it is everything, every kind of visual art is coming. So the architecture is a space engineering, what they are calling. So space engineering means how to fill the space in a very aesthetic way. So in which the modern architecture also classified into the several sections like that of conceptual architecture, landscaping architecture, or interior architecture, so on, so on. So what my suggestion to the modern architects, if they are interested with that of the Indian architecture, so they have to study the Indian architecture and they have to go and visit the places. So in India, in Hindu architecture, there is a vast difference between the Hindu architecture and the rest of the architecture. Because the Hindu architecture is based upon the spirituality. So the spiritual realization is a core concept of our architecture. So it is not possible to train the people just like that of the painter or the mason. So we have to train them to do some kind of work. And so because they are semi-literate people. So regarding the architects, the modern architect, they must study the Indian philosophy. What is the conceptual idea behind the architectural elements and the temples and sacredness also. What is the sacred architecture also? So that is the only way. There is no shortcut for the modern architects to convert themselves into the traditional architecture. They may copy some places, some pillars or the some architectural elements from the temple, but it is not at all giving the any value for it. So it may be it may not help them either for the bhaktas or the devotees or to the architects themselves. So they may not justify their work. The mere copying is not at all working. First, they have to visit the monuments as much as possible, temples, living temples, and they have to study the Indian philosophy, the Hindu philosophy in depth, and they have to compare with that of the European architecture also. Then only they may turn towards understand the architecture, Hindu architecture, and then they try to use the traditional architecture. That is a temple construction people. So they have to exchange with the ideas. They may collaborate with them and they have to implement in the practice.
Got it, sir. So my point is, the Vedic Shilpa Shastra or Vedas, can we use them in constructing any kind of institution, or only temples, means the colleges, the palace of the king, or the hospitals? All these should also be constructed according to Vedas, or no, it has nothing to do with that, only temples only?
So here the Veda means Veda is the conceptual level. The Veda is the highest principle. The principles are taken by the Shilpa text. So in the Shilpa text, everything is mentioned.
Okay.
For even the entire Bharatavarsha was surveyed by our ancestors. So some temples in the direct alignment of all the Jyotirlinga Sthalas, they are all coming into the straight line. So our ancestors surveyed the entire Bharatavarsha from up to the Egypt. Here there is a Cambodia and Vietnam. They entirely surveyed, and then they are picking some places which has the most sacredness. So they are chosen that places. So what it means really, even it is a general, that is schools, universities, you see open theater, everything mentioned in the Shilpa text. Vishwakarma Vastu Sastra giving very excellent explanations for how to construct the auditorium,
Okay.
indoor auditorium as well as the outdoor auditorium. How to construct the small school and high school level and the college level and big university level also. So the principle behind it, a place, whatever the place, whether it is for the residential purpose
Okay.
or for the garden or for the amusement park and whatever may be, the place must be selected and it must be in conformity with that of those who are running the institution. So the place in generally it is in a nutshell, I have to explain. This is cosmic order is there. In Veda it is Rutam and Satyam. Rutam means it is a cosmic order and Satya is the truth. The truth, Satya, it is always holding the cosmic order. So the cosmic order is everywhere in the galaxy, entire galaxy, not only this sun, family of earth and the sun. So almost all things, the cosmic principle. So the cosmic order must be our place, invited to our place. So our place is also within the cosmic, so that the cosmic order must be in the synchronized in a very particular and very positive way. And that is very, very important. In olden days, even the palaces are calculated according to the principles mentioned in the Shilpa text.
Okay.
Even the fort also, what it calls in Sanskrit, it is a Durga. Durga is a fort. So for these fort were built by our kings according to the Vedic Shilpa principles. So everything is schools and everything is there. So only thing is, whatever the place, whether it is used for the individual or for the public or for the any other institution, it must be in conformity with that of the cosmic order and an individual who is heading the institution.
Thank you so much, sir. So if we have to compile the answer, means the suggestion and the advice for the contemporary engineers is that they should consult the Shilpa text,
Yes.
visit the temples and monuments constructed by our ancient rishis and munis,
Yes.
and have spirituality in them.
Yes.
And some qualities, sattvic qualities of the Sthapati. So they would be able to get that divine power and would be able to construct that amazing, incredible India again.
Yes, it will always giving the blessings of the God. What we never consider, a site is a mere site. We consider the site is the place where n number of deities are there. So our first site by the Vishwakarma must be not visiting the site, but he has to pray the site and prostrate to the site and consecrate the site. I am not going to see it or gazing it. Instead, I am praying in the site for the entire divinities. And I make the calculation, which one is very helpful to all the people, including that of the person who is the head of that institution or even the residential places. What the modern terminology they are called Vastu Pandits. There are a lot of Vastu Pandits are there in every street corner and every newspaper or the web pages. We are the thousands of n number of Vastu Pandits. So these are all something very, very new to us. For the past 10 years or 15 years back, there is no such kind of people. Nowadays, a lot of people is taking training and a small training, and they are doing all these things. My simple request is our friends must go for the epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad and take the clue from the Swami Vivekananda and Yogi Sri Aurobindo. They study the spirituality, how far it is helpful validating our Vedic principles. And then you go for study, if it is have your inclination, go for the further study of the Vedas. Then only you have to turn towards the making the temple and construction, and you have to advise to other people. If you study inclination, it is your responsibility to share your knowledge, share your ideas with the friends. It is simply for the welfare of all the people.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you so much, sir. This was really
Okay.
wonderful to know all about this. My next question is, how can we make this era of when we are moving towards completion of our 100 years of independence? So how can we make this era as the revival period of Indian culture?
Yes, nowadays there is some new hopes are emerging. So in the political level and social level, so many people are taking the lead
Initiative.
for and initiative to understand what is our culture and the validity of our culture and in the very violent environment. So that we have to take them very that is a very good initiation. But for the past 75 years, what was happened, they are systematically destroyed and dismantled the Vishwakarma tradition. That is a very, very irreparable thing was done to the Vishwakarma community. Even yesterday also I told you that even the government is thinking about these birds and animals and some other lesser valuable things, but they are the entire community. Those served for more than 2,000, 3,000 years in the temple construction activity, they are complete within a very systematic and very planned manner, they are destroyed. So it is our time for the scientific 100 in between the 25 years. We must go and just like you, it is your good initiation on part of you. It is also your good initiation. So this kind of initiation must come from the general public also, and the scholars also should help to understand the problem of the Vishwakarma community as a community. So how to improve their knowledge level. So less number of teachers are available only. Only few peoples are available in the entire South India. So in northern part of India, there are the Sompura tradition. Here and there are the texts were read in the international seminar, which is no way helping the reviving of the Vishwakarma community either, as well as to our great tradition. They are simply writing and writing, rewriting all these things, but they are all written books as volumes and volumes of books. That books are only decorating the library and nobody go and study it. Instead of all these things, we have to review and we have to revive our brainstorming session, and systematically we have to improve the situation that it may help our country to get the great revival, and we have to get the path of knowledge, we have to get the shining of the knowledge. So it is the only way. So it is I really appreciating you because your initiation, I consider it is a very first step towards our 100th year of independence.
Thank you so much, sir. But I got this interest when I just heard your lecture through Bhishma. It's really wonderful. That time, it's really an eye opener that people like you are doing such a wonderful work for revival and rejuvenation and restoring the Indian heritage and culture. When I came to know about this, it really motivated me to spread it to other people also, so that they could realize what we are having, what we got, and what we are doing with that. We
Yes.
got the best and we are wasting it.
Yes.
We should not copy or praise the European culture or European constructions or principles. We should feel pride on what our ancestors, what our ancestry is. We actually, it is not because we don't know, it is because we are unaware about it. Means it's not that it's maybe yesterday also you told this was really wonderful, that you said that it's the duty of a parent
Yes.
after coming to the age of 20 or 25 or 30. It's rare, or by their karmas of the past, that they change dramatically. Otherwise they need the background or the environment from their birth itself. So
Yes,
so
it
means
is a right and valid point. We have to cultivate our children towards the Indian way of thinking. So the moral values and the Indian values we have
Indian
to
values, yes.
teach them.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. My questions are done. I'm done with all my questions. If any more suggestions, I think the one you have suggested, that is the, I just want to ask that any appeal or suggestion to the common people or Indian citizens, that how we can be the part of this journey of yours.
Yes, but if the people are come and asking me question, I will be very happy. That is my appeal. Study the scriptures, and if you have any doubts about the temple construction activity, temple construction, our devatas, our Hindu architecture, Shilpa text, as well as that of the Vedas, if they pose a question to me at my level best, I will answer, and I will always ready to answer any kind of questions regarding the Indian architecture and Vedas. So it is a very great, I think so. It is a great opportunity for me to interact with you. I am very thankful to you and your initiation. I ask Bhagwan Sri Vishwakarma to bless, because he is not only the Hotir, that is the chief priest of this yajna, and is the father to everybody. So that I pray Lord Vishwakarma, our father, our God, our Bhagavan, to bless you and your family, as well as whatever all the viewers. Uh, I at the lotus feet of Lord Bhagavan to give his blessings. Namaste
Thank
and
you so
thank
much,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
And to the viewers, sir, so Umapati sir is so humble and he's very much reachable. I will share the link, the email ID of the sir. If any one of you wants to contact him regarding any spiritual concept or Vedic concept, you can definitely contact him. He's so humble and he's very uh, easily reachable. To be very frank, he is such a wonderful personality. Though he is very easily, you can approach him. Thank you so much, sir, for this
Thank
wonderful
you.
session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.